Alright, here's another update video on where I'm at, what I'm doing. This entire channel, I'm completely repurposing it. You know, part of me, it is very sad to me that I've put in 10 years into this and that I'm basically kind of putting an end to it, but I think it is a little more complicated than that too. Basically, if you've seen the channel, you know what it is. And basically, I'm getting into aviation now. I'm getting into another industry where you can't be associated with what I had been doing previously with all my other stuff. So I had been thinking about this for like 3 years, a lot, trying to figure this shit out on what to do. You know, do I just give up on all this? Is this the end of this channel and this brand? So here's where I'm at. You know, there's the subscribers on this channel. I built this up for 10 years. I think it would be kind of putting it to waste. And also, I kind of had just fallen out of interest with what I had been doing. And so it actually did kind of make me upset that it's like the sunk cost fallacy. I felt like I put all this time into this, so I should make the most of it and keep building the brand. But I don't even necessarily align with it the way I used to, where it's like I fucking loved it and this was like all that I wanted to do and all that I thought about and everything. And so now, growing older, I'm 26, I am thinking about career, you know, I'm turning into a boring adult, but this is actually what's this is what interests me, and it is good to, you know, be passionate about something. And so in this case, I am no longer passionate about what I used to do, and I'm passionate about something new, which totally clashes with and like can't be associated with all the old stuff. So it's very long-winded to say that this channel, totally rebranding. Like, this is not even going to be the same thing. I'm basically just keeping the subscribers from this channel. I'm sure there will be a lot of unsubscribes and people like, what the fuck is this? But also, I'm glad that in my last update video, people said that, you know, they'll support me regardless of the genre of content and the content of the content. So this is very long-winded and very complicated, but to say that this is turning into a professional aviation channel. It's going to be about airplanes and all this shit. I do think this stuff is awesome. I want to dive fully into this the way that I dived into the last industry that I was in. I want to, you know, learn everything there is about this. I want to get into it, and I want to make this like a clean, professional thing and channel and brand. So again, I may have overcomplicated this, but this will be in the air soon. So this is an official aviation channel. I will probably be doing a personal channel where it's just vlogs and stuff. It's nice to have like an area where it's low expectation, because I think this will have to stay in this niche. This will stay in this category. And then I will do a personal channel where I'm just, you know, just like traveling, and I will probably be doing the podcasts again, like the inane bullshit and talking about movies and stuff. I am excited about that because there's not an expectation on that. Like, whereas this, I do think there's going to be an expectation on trying to make videos that do perform and that are in this category. So I will make a personal channel where it's just fun stuff. And then I will revive the old channel with the same name and everything. And so if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But I will basically move that. And so, yeah, not to make that overcomplicated, but the old channel will still exist on the same name brand. It will just be like migrating to another channel, but I'll have the same name and stuff, and I'll probably repost things just with some edits done to it and stuff. So I'll probably be reposting up the old catalog, because there's literally thousands of old videos that I did under the old brand. So I will keep that going. It's just that I will basically be focusing on aviation here. So, you know, let me know what you think about that. I'm sure it's going to be kind of a shock to a lot of people. I'm sure a lot of people that subscribe for the old brand will be confused by it, but I think I do see a lot of support from people, and I think there will be plenty of people that will be interested in continuing to watch. And as you know, I was always interested in, you know, the shots and the cinematography and getting the good, you know, edits and all that shit. And that does not need to apply to a specific genre. I think it could be fun to do that with airplanes too. As far as aviation, it does seem to be a shitload of channels in the space, but it does seem like, you know, just something that's always growing. And that's what I feel like with the last industry that I was in. I don't feel like I had more stuff to look forward to, and I felt like, you know, starting to be alienated and just not relating as much to my peers and the other people that are in the space. Even though I was super into it before, it doesn't mean, you know, it basically just the interests have changed. And so that doesn't mean I wasn't, you know, into it for the love of it and stuff before. So it's all very long-winded to say that, yeah. So this was the previous channel under the old brand, and now it is in the air soon. So I'm about to go migrate to the other channel and stuff. I know it's kind of complicated. I will probably be collabing this video with the other channel so that you can go find them, and then later on I'll probably remove the collab. And I don't know, maybe this video will just be temporary too, and then like it'll just evidently turn into a aviation channel. I've left just like a couple videos that were already on this channel that are like, you know, relatively relatable, like just like the Taiwan video is pretty much like the only video on the channel out of hundreds and hundreds of videos that I think could still align with this next brand. But I'm excited about this. My goal with this is eventually to, you know, just like be in aviation and stuff. I probably don't even have to say too much. Yep. That's about all I have to say here. I'm doing my study and shit. I'm in the process of getting my pilot's license. That's what I'm doing up in here. I got my fucking study area going. I got my studying going, and that is where I'm at. And I will be signing off until the next time. This is Tim, and we are in the next chapter of life with a completely new direction and goal and everything. Totally different, you know. So appreciate the support, and hopefully, you know, I will still see y'all around. If you're not into the airplanes and stuff, then I will still be doing the personal channel. Basically, I'll do a personal channel. I'm talking about, you know, like movies and shit, and like, but basically, I'm keeping these channels clean. I'm keeping it, you know, PG basically, and that's kind of like the idea behind it. But again, if you have been a previous subscriber, if you were any of the 28,000 subscribers that were already on here, then of course you know the name of the channel and everything. Go look for it. I will be reviving the same name and everything. It's just I won't be like actively like associating with it and stuff. So basically I will keep the old brand alive, just for the legacy of it, and just because it was dope and I really had fun doing it, and I really enjoyed all the videos I put out. And this has been a really hard decision on my part. It's just that like I can't really even like associate with it. So there's that. And then there's still complications where it's like I still don't have this all figured out. I still want to be a filmmaker. I still want to make movies. I don't know where I'm going to put that. I don't know if that even fits on here, even though this is like where I have the most subscribers. So it is very complicated to me, but I'm trying to figure it out. It's I've been like tearing my hair out for years trying to like figure this out, and it's, you know, it's something that it is difficult to move on to, but I also believe in not being too attached to things. That is kind of like a Buddhist concept. So it is good to not have too much attachment to things, and it does feel good to even say goodbye to the last chapters of life, because that literally is a different person. You know, me as a teenager, me now at 26, I finally have to accept that I am, you know, moved on as an adult now and a different person. So I'm you know, excited to actually like grow up and have this next chapter in life, and it is nice to have something to look forward to. If I were to expand on this more, which I don't want to go into too much depth, it does appear that right now is actually a good time to get into aviation and into trades and stuff, because everyone wants to be an influencer. I mean, I wanted to. I fucking dedicated my life to try and be an influencer. I even kind of made it work, but then like, the thing is, I also was good at it too, but there is aspects of it that are, of course, unfulfilling, and aspects of it that are just tiring with how much upkeep it takes. Like, it's one thing to even get views on a video. It's another thing to do that every second of your life, all the time. And so I'm actually at a point where I literally think it's easier, or it's less exhausting to go into an actual career than to try and be an influencer. And that's as someone that I've literally put my entire life into it. Like, my first YouTube channel was in 2008. I've been on Instagram since 2012. It's like, it's actually fucking exhausting. And I know people that have made it in that space, and then it's also hard to have comparison. It's hard to like physically know people that made it and then have a comparison to be like, oh, they made it, why can't I? Or, you know, then there's a victim mentality. Oh, well, it must be because of this or this or this. Like, I do think going down the route of being an influencer is a fucking exhausting thing. And I think where it fits best is where it's like coexisting with your life and not the only goal. It's like, I think the best people that make it as creators also have other interests in life, and they just happen to create alongside with that. And one difficulty I had was that I did have interest in life, I did have personality, but then I focused everything and sacrificed everything to trying to be an influencer, and that almost shaved off all of the hobbies and personality that I had in the pursuit of that. So I could go on about that. I do think when I talk about long videos and stuff, I'm going to switch that to a personal channel. So I'll probably make a Theodore Isaac Maley channel, you know, my full legal name. I already switched an old Instagram to that tag. So the Instagram of the previous brand I'm going to keep, because I think that makes sense. It has like, you know, 14,000 followers. I will be starting a brand new Instagram for the aviation stuff. It just seems like for YouTube, I want to make the most of this existing channel. And so that's kind of my thought process behind that. But yeah, you know, check out my personal Instagram too. The brand Instagram for the previous brand is still up. That's still going to be a thing. And I will be getting out of here before I ramble on too long. But I will probably be doing long videos and rambling and stuff on the personal channel. I will get around to that. But, you know, it feels good to just say out loud what I've been thinking, and to basically move this in place, because I had felt like I have been paralyzed for like years, not knowing what the next step is, and not feeling like I could take a next step because I didn't have this aspect figured out of what is the brand, what is the personal brand. You know, this type of shit that can drive you crazy. But I feel like I've reached a good equilibrium of, you know, how things should flow, and that is all I have to say for now. But I'll catch you around. Do appreciate the support, and, you know, hopefully you like airplanes, because that's what this channel is going to be. I think there's plenty to dig into though, and especially with my, you know, camera skills and editing, I'm sure there's can be some fun opportunities with airplanes, and there's all kinds of shit being invented. And that's why I'm really into this. Like, I just want to be able to fly, of course, but I think that there's going to be just unbelievable potential within our lifetime of, you know, experimental aircraft and new shit being invented all the time. And so that's why I want to dive headfirst into this. And I do feel much more interested in this than my previous industry, where I just felt like I was starting to be, you know, just not really fitting in as much with my previous industry. And this is one where I feel like I could actually dive into, and it is good to be excited about something. All right. Well, that is all for now. Thank you very much for watching In the Air Soon, the very first video under this new name. You know, what a crazy way to intro, but that's where I'm at. It is February 2nd, February 3rd. Time flies. It is February 3rd, 2026. I am Tim Theodore Isaac Maley, and I am pursuing aviation, and this is my first video repurposing my old channel to this new pursuit. For reference, this channel was started in May 9th, 2016, so it is well over 10 years. My first channel is 2008, and I will be putting my focus in on this for the airplane content. I'll check you around. See you around on the flip side.